Hello guys, today we are going to be doing the iMovie rate scene status, which means Las Vegas Casino Edition. So we are going to be doing that today. So, yes, it uses the boost power and it uses the V8 engine. Let's see here. The United States Racing uses the Ultimate power and it uses the V8 engine. The United Nations Aviation G2 uses the V8 engine and uses the turbo engine. Brazil uses the let's see here. It uses the jumping out of water power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. China uses the cake power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. United Kingdom uses the howling power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Italy uses the Papa Kawasaki power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. France uses the massive around the bed power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Germany uses the swing power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Canada uses the hopscotch power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Australia uses the roller skate power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. South Korea uses the skiing power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Egypt uses the Simulus power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. And then South Africa uses the Team Zodiac power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Argentina uses the hockey power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Syria uses the team of South Africa power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Then Iran uses the Great Salt Taste power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. And then European Union uses the Outburst power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Turkey uses the wrist on the bus finger power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. And oh, it uses my favorite MLP Mickey Mark intro. It uses the Miss Boss and Mrs. Strong power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Algeria uses the emoji power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Russia uses the Boomis power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. India uses the Korean power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Nigeria uses the Rain power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Kenya uses the Piñata power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Morocco uses the Turn It Out power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Somalia uses the Candy power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Cuba uses the Bayfirst TV power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Sudan uses the Jack and Jill power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Costa Rica uses the Bingo and Rainbow Horse jumping on the versus ING power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Bolivia uses the double hockey power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Vietnam uses the baby kangaroos power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Turning Back Part 2 uses the baby from Ice Age power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo and it uses the V2 engine, not turbo engine. It's called the electric engine. Then Pakistan uses the Julius and Blaster trapping panic power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Pakistan uses the Brainiac power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Hungary uses the hide and seek power, Acorn hide and seek power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Spain uses the Clown power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Northern Ireland uses the Beaver take off the mouse power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. France uses the Old Man Sleeping on the Bed power and it uses the V8 for 2 times and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Albania uses the Spider-Man power and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Germany uses the Swings power for 2 times and it uses the V8 engine and it uses the turbo engine. Poland uses the the trigger bomb and friends trapped on the Christmas tree power. And this is the VH engine, this is the turbo engine. Austria uses the racing star waterfall power. And this is the VH engine, this is the turbo engine. Belgium uses the boost power for 2 times. And this is the VH engine, this is the turbo engine. Sweden uses the pancake power. And this is the VH engine, and this is the turbo engine. Russia uses the Boomer's power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Ukraine uses the being in first place allowed, and this is the VH engine, this is the turbo engine. Italy uses the rubber construct power for 2 times, and this is the VH engine, this is the turbo engine. Oh, I forgot. Russia uses the Boomer's power for 2 times. I forgot about that. See? Czech Republic. Czech Republic uses the strength power, and it uses the VH engine, it uses the turbo engine. And then Romania uses the pants on the head power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. And then Wales uses the ABC Galaxy power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. And then Turkey uses the Rose Underbus Finger family power, and it uses the VH engine, it uses the turbo engine, and it uses it for 2 times. And then England uses the turbo beam power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then Slovakia uses the baby battery on the book power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then Ireland uses the shoulder on the head power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then Superior uses the police power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Cadillac uses the iMovie power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Philippines uses the dishwashing power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Japan uses the FSI power, and it uses the VH engine, it uses the turbo engine. Mexico uses the children playing power, and it uses the VH engine, it uses the turbo engine. Georgia uses the old man power, and it uses the VH engine, it uses the turbo engine. Then Antarctica uses the Mazu power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then UE uses the UE Tam power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Victor uses the Victor Tam power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Anna uses the Antam power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Scotland uses the pail of water power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Marshall Islands uses the Lady Tata power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Argentina 1/2 uses the fire and ice hockey power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Oksana uses the teleporter power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then Bathtub uses the boy on the bathtub power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then Bathtub uses the faucet power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then South Vietnam uses the happy birthday power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. And then Saudi Arabia uses the let's see here, uses the Caucasus power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then French Guiana uses Francis power, which means the elements around the bed power, and it uses the turbo engine, and it uses the turbo, and it uses the VH engine, the turbo engine. Then South Sudan uses the reversal power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then Winter Wednesday uses the rescue truck from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse power, which means the rescue truck turns into a helicopter, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Then New Zealand uses the Aiden client from Super Wings, and it uses the VH engine, it uses the turbo engine. The thing that we did from How I'm Racing is formed on November 8, 2023 on Wednesday, when I did something to Ava Blackford's computer. I said poop a million times. Then when Mr. Jordan comes, then Western Sahara uses the Ghost Ride power, and it uses the VH engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Now we are on the Leapfrog Investors in Saperville Park collection. So Leapfrog Adventures in Safe Real Park uses the 1981 Space Out to Columbia power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. Lego DC Super Villains uses the Lego DC Super Villains power, and it uses the V8 engine, and it uses the turbo engine. And then Up uses the Up house power, and this is the V8 engine, and this is the turbo engine. And that's it. That's all we have. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on our next video called iMovie Racing More Magic Edition Status. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.